So I've just come off the back of Challenge Wales Fishguard, and I'm really pleased with it. I think it went really, really well overall. In terms of expectations versus reality, I was very much expecting to find it very tough. The field was pretty solid, so a lot of the top Brits there. Yeah, I just wanted to try and secure my place for Shamrock next year, amongst the training that I've been doing this week and stuff. So yeah, I think I went with that target of like maybe top 5, and I got 3rd. So I can't really ask for much more than that really. I think that overall, really, really pleased with the result. First podium of the season, so certainly can't complain with that. Work hard, but again smart, and yeah, try and get the best result possible within my limitations or within the facilities that I have. So yeah, they can ride bikes very well in comparison to last season. There's very few weaknesses that people have, and I guess another learning is that I just need to learn how to break up a field potentially. I've got some tools in my belt, and it's just working out how to use them to kind of get rid of people or make the bike hard enough that I can still run and others can't.
Seven, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
If I take you through from the swim, had a really good start, lined up next to Yeston and a few of the other boys. Just, yeah, had a really solid one, looked across to my right and saw one other person, so kind of just like shadowed them for a little bit. And then managed to get a little bit of a lead coming into the first boy. And I looked around and I was like, there's a gap, go. So I absolutely sent it because I was hoping if I could get a little bit of a gap, they would be finding it harder behind me, and I could have a little bit of space out into transition because there was a decent run into transition. So managed to get about a minute, 50 seconds to a minute.
56 seconds.
56 seconds, so yeah, almost a minute out of the swim to the next person, who I think maybe was Kieran Linders.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
It was Kieran, Freddie and Yeston.
Kieran, Freddie and Yeston were in that chase pack. So that was nice because when I got into transition, I couldn't do my new suit up. Nothing to do with the suit, it was just very tight. So I had a little bit of a faff with that, lost the majority of that lead, I think. But still had that little bit of a gap leading onto the bike so that they weren't able to draft me for the first out section, because it was just an out and back, basically. So I rode real hard to the far end, maybe 360 watts-ish, 365 watts for the first 30-35 minutes. So pretty damn solid for me. And had retained that gap, I think, or pulled out a 45-second gap or so, like if I was to guess. But on the way back, let that power bleed a little bit because I was like, I can't sustain that for the whole time. And Will Draper caught me and I was like, Christ, he must have rode pretty damn fast, pretty well. So I was a little bit shocked coming back into the turnaround back in T1 that he was there, but also it was good because I had an ally essentially to just keep me honest and keep the power on. So that was really good. We rode really well, Will rode phenomenally well, and chasing was Harry. And Harry was riding phenomenally well as well because I wasn't off the gas whatsoever. And he was keeping the gap essentially. So I thought these two boys were riding extremely well because I wasn't riding bad myself. So Harry had a gap to the next person. It had all fractured because I think Will had attacked off the front of that group and it just splintered and broken apart, which was good news for me because it meant that basically people weren't working together behind. So I had a little bit more breathing space coming into T2. Into T2, I think we had about maybe 90 seconds to Harry and 3 minutes to Kieran Linders. So that was a healthy gap. Will had gone just off the front on the descent back in, which, you know, like I was fine with because I was just being careful of age groupers, and he was riding really hard. I found it quite tough to stay with him anyway. Felt okay, legs felt decent. Started on the run, and the whole like premise of the run was go as well as you can without doing too much damage for next week's training, essentially. So I started off first 2 laps. Harry caught me about second lap, I think it was.
Yeah, I think so.
On the second lap, and I just settled in 3rd place and tried to retain that as best as I could. Tom Davis was coming like a steam train behind me. So I was like, I'm really gonna have to turn on the gas here. Em was shouting at me like, you're gonna have to send it because Tom's coming. And I was like, well, I would really like a podium here. So I had good legs on that last lap, to be fair. I didn't want to make the same mistake as I made last time out in Fishguard, which was I'd gone quite hard for the first couple of laps and really suffered on the last lap and exploded and lost tons of time. And fortunately, my legs were decent and Tom's legs were not as good because he'd raced last weekend. So he suffered that little bit more on that last lap, and I managed to pull out a little bit of time as well and secured 3rd place. So really, really good and glad and happy and excited to get my first podium of the season. Fair play to the boys up front. They had really good races. Really pleased to see Harry get his first pro win, sorry. Will Draper had another good race. So yeah, I think all in all, really pleased with how that panned out and looking forward to the next few weeks.
And somebody left a note on your bike.
Oh my God, yeah. So really nice, when I was picking up my bike from racking, someone had left a note on there just saying how much they liked the videos. So I always appreciate that. And the amount of people that have come up and said hi to me over the past day or two, even today in the race, like just cheering and shouting my name. I love that stuff, so don't stop doing it. It spurs me on and I really appreciate it because, yeah, it's just that little bit of support and validation, if you will, that the videos are reaching people and hopefully inspiring people to do it themselves. And I guess lastly, just in terms of this like road to Roth stuff, because I've got now 4 weeks to Roth, will racing keep me fit and get me fit and get me prepared for Roth? This week has been tough. I've done a lot of training and this race. I will have to check in next week as to how I get on after this race, as to how the training goes, because that's what will be compromised, if anything. Like the training after this race will be quite tough because the legs will have to recover and I'll have to have active recovery whilst keeping the volume relatively high. So I think, yes, that's the plan and that's what's been scheduled in, like racing fit as well as training fit. So that's the aim. I think it's going to be possible and I feel good off the back of it. But again, give me a few days and I'll get back to you.